Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling today? Have you ever been ignored? Have you ever been put on the back burner? Have you ever been someone's second choice? And if you have, why do we hold on to it? Why do you hold on to the people who use and abuse you? And this is because we get addicted to the cycle of toxicity. And we often find ourselves dependent on other people and in a toxic relationship because we are codependent, because we have insecurities, and because we also have deep-rooted fears or issues with commitment as well. And we easily find ourselves in toxic relationships. And we are so blindsided by the connection that we struggle to see the signs of being used and abused and being taken advantage of and taken for granted. And a lot of the times, most of us don't know any other relationship besides a toxic relationship because we don't value ourselves. That's all we know is just being there for the other person and not actually seeing our own value. And that's how you end up in a toxic relationship. When you don't value yourself, when you don't respect yourself, when you become codependent, when you want someone to tell you what to do the whole time, or you are dependent on someone else's feelings to feel good. And because of that, we become codependent upon other people. And when we do find ourselves in a toxic relationship, it's difficult to leave. I know it sounds easy, like just walk out the door and leave, but it's not like that. There are emotions connected to that person. There are connections, there are feelings, there are experiences, there are things attributed to that toxic relationship that makes it incredibly difficult to let go. And it's common sense to leave a relationship when it's toxic, but a lot of the times we don't know that it's toxic. We don't look at the signs. We just look at, oh, does this person make me feel good now? And we think that the good is worth the terrible and the horrible, and it's not. A toxic relationship will teach your mind to constantly seek that toxicity because we fall into a cycle of toxicity, and then we ourselves become toxic towards ourselves and other people. And toxic relationships can leave lasting damage on someone, which makes it very difficult for them to make connections in the future. But what I want to ask you now is, are you in a toxic relationship? Do you feel that you are not being valued or appreciated, and that your needs are not being seen, and that you are not being understood? And I want you to really give yourself a moment to think about the bond. Is it worth it? Do you have a really deep bond? Or are you just holding on to something that you're afraid to let go of? Think about the other person's behavior. Think about the bond, and then think about how the other person behaves and how they treat you and how they speak to you. Because it's one thing to feel good with someone for a moment, but if they are treating you badly and they're constantly putting you down, then it's toxic. Then it's not worth the bond, because there is no bond without love and compassion and empathy. There is no bond. So really evaluate what type of bond you have. And then I want you to ask yourself, are you really happy? Are you really fulfilled? Are you really content with the relationship? Is it helping you grow? Is it fostering a good life for you? Are you seeing value in yourself and in the other person? And that's why it's important to every now and then just ask yourself, am I actually happy, when you are questioning the relationship. And then another question I want to ask you is, do you feel safe in the relationship, or do you feel like you constantly have to walk on eggshells? Do you feel understood, or do you just feel like no one cares and no one wants to be there for you? Do you feel valued? Because most of the time in toxic relationships, we don't feel valued. We don't see our own worth because the other person doesn't make our worth known to us. And then toxic relationships include frequent and severe manipulation. In a toxic relationship, people will constantly use each other to get what they want and constantly try and be on top, and the other person is higher than that and on top until it becomes a massive competition. And manipulation is so dangerous in relationships, because if you're doing it on purpose to use the person to get what you want, then you're in a toxic relationship. And then my last question for you is, can you be your own person? Are you codependent, or can you be your own person? Are you allowed to be your own person? Remember, relationships are not just about being together, it's about finding your own individuality and growing in a relationship. So if you find yourself in a toxic relationship, remember your worth and remember your value, and there's always better. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that beautiful person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.